are in a fun crisis. And if you think about it, look at the internet. You have all these things about I'm offended by I'm offended by I'm offended because you're offended and I'm offended because you're offended and I'm offended. It's just like, I have a headache, just like figuring out what's going on. But then there's also, well, I don't like what they said. I don't like what this one says. But people like to put stuff on social media or the internet, but yet when they go out in public, they don't have the courage to go ahead and talk about things when it truly matters, when you need to connect. The fun crisis is, okay, if everybody is hurting each other with violence, there's another riots that are going on, and a couple are, if they're hurting, we aren't having any fun, and fun is so crucial to do anything productive within a can. I can prove it later. To do anything productive within the workforce, your home life, anywhere, there is some type of thing where you have to have fun. 3.5 years ago, I was security on the Strip. A couple people know I worked for Excalibur and Luxor, and I'll tell you more about my history back then. But it was, a dark, very, very dark time. My shift had all the brutal calls that you can think of. There was the blood, there was the guts, there was the gore. I'm not going to talk too much about all those things, but every call that we would go on was worse and worse, and it elevated, and I started hating life, the people I was working with, the calls that were going on, and I was very selfish in playing in the world. Why is all this stuff happening to me? Why is it happening to me? Why is it happening to my shift? What's going on? That coach was the one who was helping me out. It was a life coach. She questioned everything that I would do. I said, this stuff is happening to me on my shift. Why? Well, why do you think? So she questioned every single thing that I talked about. And it bugged me because it's like, why are you getting in my business? And it's going to be, when you enhance the influence of a life, it's actually, what are you doing to highlight the life of another? And I heard that from a friend. And I was actually, what do you mean by that? Leslie, you highlight your people's lives. And I said, what? It's just, okay. So you put the highlighter of a Sharpie and you bring attention to people. That is the thing that people need to focus on. I was having trouble talking with my security officers. I didn't know how to communicate with them. I had some just, oh, you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. This is what we can do, and I've had some trouble. And since I loved acting, everything with acting and doing it, a friend said, well, why don't you go ahead and try some improv outs? I said, saying yes, and meaning some. But I had trouble with them. It's like, no, that's wrong. The person, it's not, and I would test these people out. But you know what, I finally found it out, and there was one man that I met over at B11, and his name is Dan Aykroyd, and he was the original member of Second City. And then he had Saturday Night Live and all those other things. And then Dan Aykroyd, I was his security escort that I was able to do with him. And he was really, really nice, because I said, I do improv with Second City too, because I'm trying to boost up, like, hey, this is Leslie, she does really good. I do Second City stuff. And he's like, oh yeah? Yes, and. I did okay, yes, you're a blues brother, and I really like that you were in Joliet because I'm from Chicago. He goes, yes, and this. He wouldn't stop. He kept yes, and me. He was just okay. And then I met Jim Belushi, 2 guys from Second City, and I am the worst improver in the world. These are the original members, and they're improvising with me. I'm like, okay, I have a gun. I'm like, I could really get out of this situation right now. But I didn't, because yes, and I was in a time of my life. I had so much fun. I was literally, to me, I figured out how to have fun by these guys yes anding me on a security escort.